Hey everyone, welcome to Nerd Overload, the pop and geek culture show that asks what's dungeoning your dragons. I'm Sam.
I'm Josh.
I'm Cody.
And I'm special guest BJ. Thank you all for tuning in this week. We have a great show for you. We're just playing around a little bit here. So, yes, we actually have a couple of special guests on the show. We have Parker and Jordan, first-time dual special guest hosting on the show. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
No problem.
So, we have a bunch of things to talk about here this evening, a bunch of news and whatnot, but I guess first off, we should jump into our Check 'em Outs.
Check it out!
All right, so yes, check them out. Well, we have two guests, and it's tradition that the guests go first. So, Parker, Jordan, who wants to start off with some things they've been checking out this week?
I think
I'll go
Parker
first.
does.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I've got two check 'em outs.
Okay.
Both movie related.
Of course they
So, first one, I just saw Captain America, the new Captain America, Brave New World on Sunday. It's a pretty decent attempt at going back to basics. So it's not all multiverse stuff. It's not 20 different, cameos from other Marvel characters from the past. It's essentially followed up with, Sam Wilson now taking on the mantle as Cap, and now he's dealing with President Ross, played by Harrison Ford, because William Hurt sadly passed away several years ago. Basically, but to try and go spoiler free, basically Sam and his new sidekick basically get caught up in this conspiracy where a close friend of theirs gets framed for being part of a plot to assassinate the president that fails. But basically, the new Cap is trying to go around the world and try and fix a destabilizing situation between the U.S. and Japan and a few other nations over the new materials found at the Celestial Island that was made at the end of Eternals.
Okay, sure. And I don't think it's spoilers to say that it's
Red Hulk.
Red Hulk, of course. But with the Celestial Island, it's they're teasing X-Men stuff, right?
Oh yeah, they straight up own up to it right away with that. They found adamantium.
Yeah.
So are they saying it's basically Krakoa?
They don't say Krakoa, but they go as far as they can without saying it.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if down the road, once they introduce X-Men, if they go the route of having their own
Place.
island like they did in the comics, they're going to sub in
Krakoa.
probably the
Right.
this island for the one from the comics. Well, I'm glad to hear it's pretty good. I've been looking forward to seeing it. So it does cross over with a handful of different movies, including the original. Well, not the original, but the Hulk, right?
Yep, yes they do, because they do have recognize what happened with Ross back in the Hulk movie, and they have a brief cameo of Betsy. With Liv Tyler reprising for a brief moment.
I did not realize she was actually coming back. Okay.
They do a lot of Chekhov's gun with her.
Okay.
So she shows up towards the end.
Okay, right on. Do you think this is Marvel starting to kind of dig their way out of kind of the rut they've been in post Endgame?
I think so. Like, I know it didn't make as much as the stuff pre 2023, but it still made enough that it hit its initial budget, so it's probably going to make a decent profit.
Okay.
I think outside of, say, Spider-Man and an Avengers movie, we're not going to see Marvel make $1 billion out of the gate anymore. Like, it's going to be a real winner for them to make $1 billion again.
I mean, to be fair, Spider-Man is Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man it's the same thing with, say, DC with Batman. You got to really do bad to make under $1 billion with that character.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is almost like the unofficial mascot of Marvel these years.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's kind of been for a long time, but
Yeah, he's the most recognizable.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm not going to, I'm a little biased, but he is kind of one of my favorites. So I mean,
Likewise.
I love the Spidey.
So I have one last question about this, and then we'll jump on to another check-em.
Okay.
So this, during production, they actually had to reshoot a handful of scenes because there was a character that they introduced, and I understand she's still in the movie, but they had to basically
A
change.
reducer.
Yeah, reduce her role and change her background quite a bit. The character from the comic Sabra, I think
Yes.
she's just an agent or a former Black Widow or something.
Yes, yeah.
No.
She is basically a Black Widow fill-in because it is at times trying to follow the coattails of Winter Soldier because that was such a game changer for the
Winter
franchise.
Soldier is such a good movie. It's still one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, it's still top 5 MCU.
Oh, for sure. But did it feel like you could tell where the cuts and edits were made for that?
Yeah, you could tell. There's certain things that they did cut around. Like you could guess that's at times Giancarlo Esposito was supposed to be a bigger character, and then halfway through he's kind of just left behind.
Ah, okay. All right, so yeah, other checkums. You know what, Jordan? Your turn. I'm putting you on the spot.
That's fair. A couple weeks ago, I went to see Disney on Ice.
Oh, yes, you did.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was this year. The theme was the theme was Frozen and Encanto. It was really good.
Oh man,
I had a great time.
the theme of
They
generational
did a lot
trauma.
more. I went last year also, and it was a good time. They did a lot of like aerial acrobatics that I was not expecting people on ice skates to do. It was pretty wild. They lit the ice on fire at some point.
Yeah, I saw some of the pictures of the aerial acrobatics that you had, as it was going on, you were taking pictures and sending them to me. It looked pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was very cool. They always make it like snow from it takes place at Nationwide Arena, so it's over the, like where the Blue Jackets play. And they can make it like snow from the ceiling, and there were like fireworks in there, and it was very cool.
Yeah, this is like the second or third one of these that you've been to. Is that right?
Second, I think.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to ask if I cried, and the answer is I sure didn't.
Definitely not.
Nope,
Definitely not.
not even once. Not even twice.
All right, Josh, you're up.
All right, well,
Check them.
Let's see. I guess keeping in the vein of Disney, I saw Moana 2 a couple weeks ago.
Ooh.
Hey, all right, cool.
Was it good?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. And I got surprisingly weird backstory of the Kakamora, the little coconut guys with the with the paralyzing darts.
Mm-hmm.
They're not really bad guys.
Oh, okay.
They're kind of sea pirates for a reason,
Gotcha.
Ah,
Interesting.
and they kind of explain that a little bit. The villain is virtually not there in a way, like not like like Tafiti was, or well, the angry Tafiti or whatever, where like it actually had like form and whatnot. This one was more just an angry sea god who made a storm, and you could kind of see his face like in the clouds sometimes. But that was about it. It was like Galactus cloud thing from like
from the
Rise of the Silver
Rise
Surfer.
of the Silver Surfer.
Right.
Okay,
it was so
yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
It felt, I don't know. I feel like it was less about like the villain or the curse of the movie, and more about a lot of like, I don't know, found family or familiar ties and things like that. Bringing people together. I guess that was the big thing, was bringing people together.
Well, that's cool.
Because
that's a good message.
Yeah, I mean there was more characters in it than say just watching like, Moana and the chicken and Maui sailing around on a raft.
Okay.
Because you had Moana and you had a couple people from her village. There was like a builder. She specializes in like shipcraft or whatever.
Okay, sure.
And then a guy who is like Maui's biggest like fanboy.
Oh, okay.
But so he knows all the stories, he knows all the legends.
Yeah.
And like when he finally meets Maui, he kind of has like almost like Avatar foaming mouth guy kind of reaction.
Oh, really?
Not as funny as the Avatar foaming mouth guy, but it was all right. It was decent. Of course, the farmer's this older guy who does not want to be on the boat, and he's
Sure.
like, the only reason he's there is really to just kind of keep plants alive so they have food.
Ah, gotcha. How was The Rock in this?
I mean, it was Maui. It was Maui.
Sure.
He's not as arrogant as he was in the first movie, because he does have humbling moments in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's more like he's worried about Moana, and he didn't want to involve her in the things he was doing at the time. But,
Okay.
they kind of had to because, story.
Of
plot.
course, yeah. A movie has to happen.
Yeah, movie has to happen. But yeah, I mean, it was fine. There's some good songs in it. Granted, it's been a couple weeks, so I really can't, at the top of my head, really remember them.
Oh, I was going to put you on the spot and have you sing a couple of them.
It's been a while since I listened to a Disney mix on my Spotify.
When Josh said Disney mix on Spotify, I recently discovered a Disney Goes Punk mix on Spotify.
Okay, that sounds baller.
And it is a good time.
I'll have to look that one up. That sounds good.
Oh, I guess that means me. Okay,
I mean, we can round robin this stuff.
Absolutely. We could jump right. I can take check them. So yeah, one thing that I checked out this week, I went back and rewatched. Unfortunately, I don't have anything Disney. I feel like I'm kind of breaking the cycle here a little bit, breaking the loop. But went back and rewatched the movie Bowfinger. With Steve Martin and
Eddie Murphy.
And Eddie Murphy, yeah, and kind of an ensemble cast with that. And it's fantastic. I forgot how much I loved that movie.
It's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
Yeah, the long and short of it is Bowfinger is this he's this failed film director on his last legs, basically, and they come up with an idea to film a low-budget movie with a big-name action star, but the action star doesn't know he's in the movie. So they're like guerrilla style filming things and just walking up to this guy and saying lines from this movie and just getting his reaction, whatever it is. It also looks into Eddie Murphy's character, who is he has some emotional issues, and the movie they're making is an alien invasion movie. Eddie Murphy's character, Kit Ramsey, actually does think aliens exist and are coming down, and it's like feeding into his paranoia.
Oh, so he's kind of like the guy who believed like the Orson Welles War of the Worlds kind of
War of
thing.
the Worlds.
Yeah, and there's a whole subplot that ties into a Scientology analog. Oh yeah, but no, it's really, really funny. It's really cool. And
Wouldn't that movie been made before Scientology was like an established thing?
no,
No, it'd been long established, but it hadn't gotten all the notoriety it does now.
Yeah, I think they were just starting to kind of pick up on, okay, this is a thing that some
Celebrities do.
Some celebrities are kind of into, that sort of thing.
Beyond just John Travolta and Tom Cruise.
Right. Ugh. But the movie itself was really good, directed by Frank Oz.
All right.
So
the voice of Yoda.
Yeah, voice of Yoda, and curmudgeon. Any interview you see with him, he's just, I mean, hey, it's all right. He's provided entertainment through voice
Puppets.
acting and directing for 50 some odd years. He could be a curmudgeon if he wants to, but you know. Yeah. But no, that's my check-em. That's the main thing that I've done this week. So Parker, back to you.
Okay, so secondary one, finally got to knock this off my little list of movies I meant to see for years. I saw the adaptation of the very controversial book Lords of Chaos, which came out in 2018.
Okay.
So, Lords of Chaos, it's a very sensationalist, true crime retelling of the Norwegian black metal scene in the early to mid 90s.
Oh, okay.
And just, yeah, the long and short of it, black metal, it's kind of this very underground version of heavy metal that's very lo-fi its recording, so it's very kind of punk rock, but it's a very experimental and intense, music genre. But when the genre was really becoming a thing in Scandinavia in the early 90s, it happened right when the Satanic Panic was happening, and a few of the noteworthy bands, specifically Mayhem and Birdsum, went whole hog into it. So they were committing the actual things that people were panicking about. I would say Roy Culkin is basically the main guy, Oyston or Euronymous for Mayhem. He was kind of the thought leader of the genre at that time. And he was really pretentious, but he was kind of a guy who got way in over his head.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one I want to say was Emery Cohen played the mastermind of Birdsum, Varg Vikernes, who is about as controversial as you get in the heavy metal underground. Okay. So
interesting, very interesting.
It's the controversy is the book kind of gets too sensationalist for the sake of it, even though the music is very interesting, if you can handle the abrasiveness. But the other thing that got controversy was all the bands that were featured, pulled their support, so they couldn't use any of the original music. So they had to do covers.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my gosh.
Well, basically the thing is they kind of portrayed these black metal musicians, because they were all in their teens, early 20s, as being a bunch of dumb idiots who a lot of them committed some really serious crimes.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, for them to have made those guys look good would have required the movie to condone some serious criminal activity.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, the book Lords of Chaos is okay if you want a true crime version, but if you want a proper introduction to black metal, I would go with Black Metal: The Cult Never Dies.
Okay. Oh, we're right on. Right on.
Nice. I've been playing a lot of the new Mario Party.
Oh, yes. Yes, we have.
Oh man, I want to play.
It's a banger.
I want to play that so bad.
It's super good. Mario Party Jamboree. Yeah.
We have it. You can.
Yeah. But no, it's really good. Yeah. We've been going through there's a whole like unlock system of like unlocking different maps or what have you. Boards, I guess. And there's a whole one player mode as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the one player mode is also fun. It's you get kind of like a preview of all the mini games if you haven't like run across them in regular play yet. There's also a new function where you get not just an ally that like helps you roll, you actually get like special bonuses if you pick up a friend and they hang out on the board with you.
Yeah.
So you get to preview all those games.
Yeah, Josh, you'll like this. Donkey Kong, if he's your buddy, you can have him randomly shoot you in a barrel to a random spot on the board.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
And so the buddies only stick around for 3 turns, but they're like way overpowered.
Yeah,
Like,
I saw something where like if another player passes you while you have a buddy, they steal your buddy.
yeah, they steal your
Yes.
buddy. Yeah,
Really?
it's not a permanent thing. Yeah, but no, it's like stuff like Luigi. Any roll you get, he will turn it into a 5 or 6 or like a high number.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, Donkey Kong has the barrel cannon. Rosalina, I think, gives you a free cheap item every time. So, but no,
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The animation and stuff is all just really pretty too. Like the maps are interesting, and I mean I've always kind of liked Mario Party anyways, but it's a really good addition to the lineup. It's great.
the only thing that I am kind of missing from this one, in the Super Mario Party, they had that 2-player, almost like Dungeons and Dragons style, where you can move all around the map and you're like tag teaming to collect stars and points and stuff like that. I really like that mode.
More cooperative.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
I miss Bowser Party. That was like one of my favorite Mario Party things. Bowser Party was great.
Oh yeah, that
On
was
the Wii U?
On the Wii U, we brought that over to a game night one time, right? Because you could draw on the pad or whatever.
Well, yeah. No, we played it here.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
we played it here. Yeah.
Yeah, we that used to be our go-to.
It kinda was.
Our go-to group night
Back in the day.
back in the day. Thing was Bowser Party,
Yeah.
or that, or trying whatever new Wii U game that you or Cody got and either liking it or hating it.
Well, sure. Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
That last Star Fox game was bad.
Yeah, Star Fox was not great.
But no, I've been really wanting to play Mario Party Jamboree. I feel bad that I don't play more Switch than I do, so I've been trying to play more Switch.
Well, hey, here in
I know,
less than a year, we're gonna have the Switch too,
I know, I'm going to be all about
and there's all the old games are gonna be played on it with an asterisk because they'll work unless they don't.
Yeah,
according to Nintendo.
Yeah, it is backwards compatible, and I do have a penchant for buying physical media.
Oh yeah. I'm hoping the digital downloads transfer over as well.
They should.
I have a lot of digital games.
They should. It attaches to your Nintendo account, and your Nintendo account attaches to everything.
That's true. That's a good point. Well, Josh, you are last up because I feel like I kind of tag teamed that Mario Party Jamboree.
No, that's fine.
That check-em. So, Josh, you are last up before we get into the news here, man.
Okay. Well, I got a couple quick hits here.
Sure.
I can split these. So it's no secret that I play a lot of Fortnite. It's kind of my comfort game, I guess.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
When I've been having a bad day or I just want to be entertained. The new season of Fortnite dropped this morning.
Oh, okay.
And it is a heist theme. It is called Lawless.
Ooh.
And there's a whole bunch of new stuff. There's like armored cars around the map that you can rob. There's banks you can rob. You actually have to break into vaults rather than just beating a boss and getting a key card.
Oh,
like they have in the
interesting.
past. They're really leaning into the theme.
Yeah.
Like they brought back an item that I really liked from an older heist season that was called the Rocket Ram, but now it's called the Rocket Drill, and it's like a big drill you can drill through safe
Like
walls,
vaults and things
kind
like
of
that.
Payday-ish, but like more comical because it's
Okay.
Fortnite.
Yeah, Fortnite.
Of course, you can jump and fly with it.
Sure.
But there's a new melee weapon called the Kneecapper.
Okay.
It's an electrified baseball bat.
Oh, nice.
I love
Wow.
it. Yeah, and it charges up, and you can ride a motorcycle with it and bump people with it.
Do people still play it like straight with like building the structures like the original, or is or is that gone completely by the wayside?
I mean, regular Battle Royale has the building, and there are plenty of people who play that. I play no build mode because I like the weapon play better than having to worry about building.
Gotcha.
Fair.
That's just my thing. But a big thing about this season is a big Battle Pass character, and he's an actual Battle Pass character and not a bonus pass or whatever like they had with Godzilla last season. It's Sub-Zero. They're finally bringing Mortal Kombat into
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's about time.
Yeah.
And he has his own special item called Sub-Zero's War Kit or whatever.
Okay.
And it allows you to like slide with ice and throw an ice spear and stuff.
Oh,
and
cool.
Scorpion is coming, and he's going to have an item too, and it's going to play the "Get Over Here" sound effect when you throw it.
Oh, awesome.
As you should.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's got you got to have that.
I kind of wish the glider that you unlock for Sub-Zero, it's just the big Mortal Kombat symbol with fire and you're riding.
Sure.
I wish it would play like, I wish it at the very least would go, Mortal Kombat!
That would be cool. Yeah.
But they did add something this season where they call it Fortnite Moments, where you can assign a music track to either when you jump out of the battle bus or if you get a victory royale.
Oh, okay.
And you can pick a song from your collection of jam tracks that we've been collecting for a while now. Either you bought or you got through battle passes or whatever to play music during your victories or when you jump out or at the start of the game.
Okay.
So I think that's a nice little customizable thing. Kind of like lobby music, but not. I turn the lobby music off because most of the time it's really annoying. But, my other quick thing is I've been playing this side-scrolling. It's not a roguelike. I'd say it's more kind of Souls-like, but it's like I said, side-scrolling. Mm-hmm. It's called Tales of Iron. It is a medieval combat game where you are a rat prince / rat king, because your father dies and you become king, fighting a hordes of like frogs and other kinds of enemies. And everything has a very medieval tapestry style kind of art to it.
Okay.
It was free on PlayStation Plus. I was like, you know what? I had this downloaded forever. I'm going to try it. And it's really good. It is punishingly difficult.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, it is a Souls-like asterisk kind of game. But yeah, plus a second one just came out, and I was like, you know what? I should just play through this.
Oh, cool.
And it's fun. It's hard. You got to balance, like, what weapons you like using, what playstyle you like using, but also you're balancing the weight of your gear, so it kind of determines how quickly you can dodge or whatever.
That's
or
interesting.
how much damage you could actually absorb before actually taking a big hit.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, that sounds really cool.
And you know me, I like my, anthropomorphic,
I was going to say
warrior
kind
animals.
of Redwall-ish a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I was actually staring at my collection of Redwall books today as I was getting ready to come here, and I'm like, you know what? I should actually go back and finish reading these.
Yeah.
Because I own every book in the series.
All right. So, yay. Sounds good. Let's go ahead and switch over to some news.
Woo.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and talk about some news here, and we teased this at the beginning of the show. Dungeons & Dragons is potentially getting a Netflix series.
Hold on. I need to roll my dice for my perception check.
Okay. It's a critical success.
Yay!
So
You get to see the show.
Yeah. So this is being worked on by Sean Levy, who
Yep.
did Stranger Things, and most recently was the writer and director of Deadpool and Wolverine. So it's gonna be some pretty funny stuff.
And it's gonna be meta. I'm gonna love it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It's gonna be on Netflix, and it is set in the Forgotten Realms, which is the safest bet for a D&D thing.
Yeah, as it's got the most amount of variety, but still familiar enough.
Oh yeah, almost every popular setting in D&D is Forgotten Realms.
Yeah, it's been the default setting since 4th edition.
Right, and that's what Honor Among Thieves was
even
set
before,
in, right?
even a little
Yeah.
bit before. In 3.5.
Yeah, but 4th is when they officially made a lot of the Pantheon from the Forgotten Realms instead of Greyhawk.
Yeah, they haven't done Greyhawk in forever.
I like Greyhawk, but it's
very
pretty
basic.
dry.
It's very basic, yeah.
Yeah,
All the good
yeah,
characters are definitely in the Forgotten Realms stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's either Forgotten Realms or Eberron, right?
Yeah.
Those are
if
the
you
two
want to
big
go for a
ones,
dark
kinda.
horse, maybe now you could do Dragonlance if you
sure.
really want to go high
Well,
fantasy.
I've heard rumors that they've been talking to Margaret Wise and Tracy Hickman about maybe doing some Dragonlance stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
That would be nice. It would be nice to get away from, the standard stuff we know, but also people would be like, who the crap is Tannis Half-Elven? Who cares about these characters?
Well, I mean, you can still say that about the something set in Forgotten Realms because they can make whatever characters they want.
That's also true.
Right.
Yeah.
That's also
Yeah.
Who's this Elminster guy? Who cares about this dark elf guy and his
Yeah.
stupid panther?
Yeah.
To be fair, I love Driss Duerden. He's one of my
I was going to
favorite
say,
characters.
you're talking about
Oh, yeah.
Trist, right?
Yeah, Driss Duerden is one of my favorite Forgotten Realms characters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he is the most iconic.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, for R.A. Salvatore's amazing writing.
Oh yeah.
He writes good action. Like where Tolkien builds beautiful worlds and paints wonderful scenery.
And spends 5 paragraphs describing a blade of grass.
Yeah, but
Right.
can't write entertaining combat to save his life. Versus R.A. Salvatore, where everything is like an action movie,
Oh, that's cool.
Right.
and he's very descriptive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
he's the best straightforward writer of the bunch.
Like the original Icewind Dale trilogy books are so good, so good. Probably one of my favorite sets of like fantasy media.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I highly recommend them.
Right on. So this project from Netflix, they haven't said if there's going to be a set, if they're going to be using
Named characters.
from Forgotten Realms, or if it's going to be a new set, kind of like Honor Among Thieves. But you know what? I'm for it. I am really happy that Dungeons and Dragons has continued to become more of a widely accepted kind of media thing.
Yeah, it's not just for
Right.
weird nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
Well,
Yeah,
the
look-
movie was a good time, and I think you could have gone into that movie knowing nothing about Dungeons and
Oh, yeah.
Dragons and still just been like, cool, fantasy movie, whatever.
Exactly,
Like,
It was
exactly.
basically, hey, what if we did Guardians of the Galaxy but in D&D?
Right.
yeah.
I mean, it kind of works because people seem to like the formula of a bunch of misfits bumbling through an adventure.
Everybody
Yeah.
loves a band of snarky misfits.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
why Guardians.
they love their motley crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just found the notes. They do have a pilot that's being worked on right now by the showrunner Drew Crivello.
Yeah.
So it is officially happening, not just in development.
Oh, that's
They're
good. That's
well
good.
on their way.
That's
yeah,
good.
and he wrote there's like a docu movie kind of about the WeWork, which was this
We crashed.
Yeah, the movie's called We Crashed, but WeWork was this big tech thing that crashed and burned. It was a whole
Oh, was
mess.
it was it from like the .com era kind of thing?
No, it's more recent.
Oh.
It's fairly recent, but it's too much to get into at this point. But it was very much along the same lines as that. What's her name? The Anna Delvey, the one that had the blood program, like it was supposed to like clean your blood out or something like that.
Oh.
And it was a complete scam.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like some snake oil kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. All right. So moving on from that, I guess the other really, really big news for the week. So Amazon is either is or is in the process of purchasing MGM. They are making the jump to big budget, theatrical stuff.
I mean, it's not like they don't have the money.
And from what I read, they overspent they spent more money than what they really needed to buy MGM. They spent like 8 point some odd billion dollars.
I mean, MGM, even though movie studios aren't as prestigious as they used to be, like from the golden era, Semina and all that stuff.
MGM's one of the classics.
Exactly,
they still have that shine.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. MGM is film royalty.
Absolutely.
That is a name that has been around since forever.
Sure.
When you think of like classic era, you think of like MGM.
Wizard of Oz.
Hey,
Yes.
exactly. So, it came out in the news the other day that they spent an extra on top of this, the 8 point whatever. On top of the 8 point whatever, they spent another $1 billion to secure the rights for James Bond. James Bond has been historically really difficult to, like, the rights holders have been very protective of the IP.
Yes.
You basically have to bend to whatever the will it was the Fleming family for a long time. I think it's currently the
Broccoli estate.
The Broccoli estate.
It's a hilarious name.
Yeah, I was going to say they took it over from the cauliflower company. But yeah.
Headed by Reginald Barclay.
Yeah.
Let's get roasted.
That's
Yes.
a next generation reference.
But no, they're finally like releasing their hold on the James Bond. And
Cool.
I don't know how I feel about it, honestly.
Yeah. Also, to be fair, do people really care that much about James Bond anymore?
I would say so.
Yeah,
I don't know.
to a degree.
Because I feel like the last couple movies, people have kind of like, these are kind of boring. This kind of slept through.
It's not as big as the Sean Connery era,
Oh,
of
yeah.
course, and it's not
But
as big
also-
as the Pierce Brosnan revival.
Oh man,
Yeah.
It was huge.
GoldenEye is outside of the video.
So good.
Outside of the
Oh, yeah.
original outside the video game. GoldenEye is probably still one of my favorite all-time James Bond movies.
Oh yeah.
There are goofy.
It's a personal top 5.
Oh yeah, there's goofy gadgets. There's a fun storyline. There's interesting characters. Pierce Brosnan just kind of schmoozes charisma in that movie.
Oh yeah.
It's quotable. It's so quotable.
It
Had
really
to
is.
ventilate someone.
Yeah, I am invincible.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. Sean Bean has an iconic death.
Of course,
because
because
it's
it's
Sean Bean.
Yeah.
Gotta do it.
It's a great movie. Yeah, the other one, the couple other after that, like was it
Die Another Day.
Die Another Day, and
I saw
World is
Die
not
in-
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're kind of meh,
Yeah.
in my opinion. But GoldenEye, and From Russia with Love are probably peak James Bond movies for me.
Yeah.
Sure.
Now, granted, Sean Connery does come with an air of
There's some stuff
problematicness.
of its time.
Yes.
It's of
Yeah.
its time, we could say.
Yeah, it's 60 years old. You're going to find some chaff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
outside of Sean Connery's personal life,
Well,
Right.
but
And his short shorts.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
But also, Sean Connery was never one to shy away from goofy wardrobe. Looking at you,
Mhm.
Zardoz.
Oh, yeah.
Zardoz.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Zardoz.
Yeah.
God.
But no, one thing that this is opening up, not just James Bond properties, but it's also going to open up the possibility of spin-offs based on some of the other characters in the series, like an M movie or TV series, or we could get a Dr. No prequel, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
The
Right.
last time they tried to do this was they tried to spin off Die Another Day with Halle Berry's character Jinx.
Yes.
And the Fleming estate put the kibosh on that quick. Yeah, they were like ready to go with that film, and they said, no, we don't. She is technically part of our conglomerate
Canon.
now. We're not allowing this. This is not happening.
I still think Dame Judi Dench is probably still one of my favorite.
Oh,
M's.
she's a great M.
Oh, yeah.
She's probably one
So
of my
good.
favorite. One of my favorite M's.
Yes.
And I kind of wish they would I don't know, maybe officially come out and say that James Bond /007 is actually just a code name and not the
Yeah.
actual man himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've always been a subscriber of the fan theory that because there are so many different 007 actors, they're all just different men under the
Right.
name.
Well, if
Kind of
you're
like a Doctor Who.
if you're a super spy,
Yes.
why are you going around telling everybody
Your
your
real name.
your actual name?
That makes
Your
no
actual
sense.
human name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The only thing I'm concerned with is the fact that it's being picked up by Amazon.
Yeah, and that can
Yeah.
really goes really either way with it. It's either it could either be really good or it could just be really, really bad.
Yeah, they have a spotty track record. I would say.
They really do.
And I don't want to see them make a series. They James Bond needs to stay movies.
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of the cornerstones of cinema.
Yes. James Bond would not work as a slow burn, and having a series would necessitate the story being a slow burn.
It would be so boring.
It wouldn't work.
It would be
I don't
so
think it would
boring.
Work.
I don't want to see the spy legwork. I just want to see the spy action.
Yeah.
Right.
Cut to the exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't need to see James Bond, starting his car, driving to the place, this, that, and the other.
or
just get to the action, get going with it.
Or doing field legwork.
Yes.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Get to the villain base, get strapped to the giant laser, break out, win the day. That's what I want. Kind of like like a Kingsman 1 kind of thing,
Yeah.
Because Kingsman 2 is kind of, can we really say the Kingsman 2
Yeah.
kind of... Now, I still want to watch the King's Man, though. I thought
It's decent.
I mean, if anything, for the Rasputin sword fight. So,
That was dope.
I know, right? I've watched that scene so many times. I'm like, I need to watch this movie.
Okay, so we're going to jump into a couple of quick hits here. First off, this is kind of a stupid one that it's barely news, but I wanted to bring it up anyways.
Yeah.
So, what network is it? I think it's Amazon MGM.
Probably.
Yeah. They are working on a comedy TV series called Taylor Lautner Werewolf Hunter.
I'm so excited for this. It sounds just the dumbest.
It
And
sounds to me like it's Taylor Lautner's version of JCVD.
Yes. Abel. Yes, he's in the synopsis for the show. Taylor Lautner is playing himself post Twilight series world where he kind of disappeared from acting, and it's true because he did kind of disappear from acting there for a while. I know he was on Scream Queens and he's done some little stuff here and
Scream
there.
Queens was a good show.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was
a
dope.
good show.
Yeah, but he's been secretly hunting werewolves. He discovered the actual real world of werewolves by being in the Twilight movies. So
it's such a silly premise, and I find that, I don't know, I think it sounds really funny. I could clearly just crash and burn and be a total joke, but if it's good, like, I can see it being
Right.
like, this is just like a wacky thing that we're doing now. Like,
In my opinion, if it's half as fun as Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter,
Right?
I'm sold.
Right.
Because that book is dumb, and I love that book.
and the movie was great too. The book was great.
The choreography in that movie is fantastic.
Yes.
Like when
Yeah.
he's fighting all the vampires on that train. Pure cinema.
Yeah. who knew Honest Abe could wield a hatchet?
I mean,
like that,
it's alluded
or
in
an
the
axe or whatever.
history.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
alluded in the history.
But I think the show will work as long as they stay as meta and stupid as they possibly can. If the second they try to take it seriously,
No.
done.
Yeah, like those Bigfoot hunter movie or
Yeah.
shows like on
No.
what is that
no.
like History Channel or
Yeah.
Animal Planet or whatever that stuff is. Hey, remember when those networks actually used to be good?
Well,
Petrid's
yeah.
Farm remembers.
I think the other thing that's interesting about this news, though, is that this is I forget what year, and it's going to turn my bones into dust, but this is an anniversary year of Twilight coming out.
Oh,
because
really?
they're also releasing they're releasing like a new box set of the Twilight books. I forget what year it is for it.
20, I
Probably
think.
20.
Yeah,
yeah.
about.
It would have been,
is it-
2005, sure.
Are they going to include that wet one where they're like it's everything from like Edward's perspective?
I don't know if Midnight Sun is in there or not, if that ever would get squished into the box set. I always thought that was kind of silly, personally. But
well-
I would like to see a book told in the perspective of Charlie,
Oh,
yeah.
Bella's dad. I'm the small town
Right.
sheriff, and things just keep happening, and I don't understand.
Yeah, my daughter's boyfriend's a werewolf or is a vampire.
I
So
mean,
is his whole family.
I mean,
my best friend's a werewolf. Like,
Right.
I mean,
That would be good.
I mean, my boyfriend's a werewolf. My boyfriend's a vampire. I mean, it kind of works for Bella.
Yeah,
That's true.
kinda, yeah. No, I'm excited for this thing. And
It's stupid.
Lautner's a funny guy. He could take a joke. I've
That's the
I've
thing.
seen him in interviews and stuff.
I love when actors or celebrities don't take themselves too seriously.
Daniel
Right.
Radcliffe.
Yes,
that is
exactly.
a
Oh, yeah.
prime
This-
example.
This could just as easily be Daniel Radcliffe Witch Hunter.
Exactly.
And it could be just the exact same thing, but he's
Yeah.
post Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. It's like when we talked about Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee was never one to shy away from a bad movie either.
We were talking about Christopher Lee before the break.
Oh, yes.
Or during the break.
Knighted. Very prestigious actor, very he's royalty basically. But he made plenty of really dumb, bad movies or said yes to roles that were really beneath him and he didn't care. And I love that stuff. I love that stuff. Like Daniel Radcliffe in his horseplay or Guns Akimbo or
Swiss Army Man.
Swiss Army Man. That was
Where
another
he
one.
was
I
a
was-
dead
jeez.
body that just happened to have anything this guy needed inside him.
which was God, that's so goofy.
That was a weird.
Yeah,
that was a
weird
weird
movie.
one. Yeah.
Well, when you become a multimillionaire before you're an adult, you could do whatever you want for projects as long as it pleases you.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, Ron Weasley bought like an ice cream truck and just drives it around England, allegedly. So
Yeah, Rupert
Good for
Grint.
him.
Yeah, Rupert
That
Grint.
one, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, yeah. If I love seeing it when actors they don't have to take roles anymore. They can pick and choose what they want because a lot of times what they want it's the weird stuff.
Oh
And,
yeah.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Nicolas Cage.
Well,
Or Samuel Jackson.
yes. Yes.
Samuel L. Jackson.
yeah.
I love him. I love him.
So some other quick hits here. We have so this is a really short thing from Marvel Studios. So we know that the Daredevil show is
Born
coming
Again.
to Disney Plus here pretty soon, and Daredevil's being brought from the Netflix series that were initially just barely part of the MCU,
Yeah, they're like
being totally folded in.
They exist, and references are sort of made, but very veiled.
It was they were in the same universe the same way Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was in the Marvel
Yeah, that was
MCU.
back before Marvel was really fleshing out their TV show
they
stuff.
didn't know. But
Right.
But Disney Plus is gauging the popularity of the Daredevil Born Again because they are potentially looking at bringing the other Defenders shows. So Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and unfortunately Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Into the fold. I could see them doing that with Jessica
and Punisher,
Jones and
Punisher too. Forgot about Punisher.
yeah.
Well, yeah, Punisher's in Born Again.
Yeah, he's in it.
Which I feel is good for him because I feel Punisher is a better supporting character than his own thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The only time I think Punisher could actually work, and I mean, the Tom Jane Punisher movie was fine. It was good because it was right on that line of realistic and goofy. Mm-hmm. Like,
Right.
you're going to have an entire fight scene with Kevin Nash as the Russian guy.
Russian
was-
Waldo.
Was that the one? Was that the one where he tortured a guy with a popsicle?
With the popsicle?
Yes,
He
yes.
told him that if
burning flesh once
burning-
it reaches a certain point is cold.
it's cold and he just starts sticking him in the back with a popsicle. Yeah. See, that's where Punisher I think works. I would love to see a Punisher go up against a superpowered or supernatural
Threat.
Right.
because otherwise you're just getting
yeah.
gun guy going up against other
Yeah, it's
gun
just
guy.
Death Wish.
Yeah, exactly. No, I want to see him do things with other super powered
Like he does.
Heroes.
Like he does in the comics.
yeah.
Right.
But I could definitely see them bringing in Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, if not supporting characters in another show. I don't know if they would get their own show.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones might.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Jessica Jones kind of told everything it really needed.
It kinda
Yeah.
did.
tell. I mean, she's while the show was very good and the character is interesting, I don't feel like she's that deep to really continue more.
Right. No, I can see that.
Because even in the comics, she's not that deep. Most of her stuff happens even before all the, actual Jessica Jones stuff. When she's still a superhero and she's being mind controlled by Kilgrave.
Right.
Or the Purple Man.
The Purple Man. Yeah.
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 Man, watching Doctor Who heads lose their ever-loving mind on how creepy David Tennant was.
Oh, yeah. He turned it completely around. It was kind
I
of strange.
loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah. What are the chances they're actually going to bring Iron Fist into this? I'm going to say 0.
Low.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Or they either need to recast or retool it completely what they did.
They need to bring him closer to the comic books, which is he's basically Kung Fu Johnny Storm. He's an arrogant, kind of cocky, kind of jokester type character.
Yeah.
He's the funny Shang-Chi.
Essentially. They put him they played that show way too straight in the first season, and it was terrible.
It was awful.
Oh yeah.
The second was halfway redeemable, but the damage was done.
Exactly.
Yeah. Speaking of the Daredevil show, I'm really glad that they they allowed some of the supporting cast. The guy who played Foggy.
Eldon
his name?
Henson?
Yeah. They brought him back. Wall. What's her name? First name?
Oh.
Carrie Ann Wall or something like that?
Oh, Carrie Ann Moss?
No, it's not Carrie Ann Moss. I'll look it up.
You're talking about the girl they save and she becomes like the receptionist, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
She was on True Blood and stuff like that. Yeah.
I'm blank because she did a podcast with John Barenthal and she taught him how to play D&D.
I was going to bring that up. Okay, so it's Deborah Ann Wall. Yeah, I saw clips of that on because it's John Bernthal's podcast, I think.
Right. Yeah, it was John Barenthal's, actually.
Yes. And she came on and they were talking about it because she is
a supporting character in Punisher.
Well, she's a supporting character in Punisher and Daredevil, but she's also on the board for Hasbro for leading the Dungeons and Dragons franchise. She is like, look into some of the stuff that she does outside of acting.
She's basically a brand ambassador.
She's but she has the authority to shape, where the brand's going to go and that sort of stuff. And they run through because Bernthal had never done anything like that, and she basically explained to him, this is like it's just like acting, and did a non-dice roll, just talk to him through a scene essentially, and he got it. And if you could actually see on camera the point where
it clicked in his brain.
Clicks in his brain. It's actually like the gears, you could see the gears turning.
But he got it.
Yeah, he got it.
Which is kind of
really impressive.
Which is kind of funny because she's big into D&D. And then the other guy, what's his face? The one werewolf from True Blood.
Joe Manganiello.
Yes, is super big into D&D.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh,
lifelong.
man.
Yeah, and
I'm like, oh, man.
And of course you get your Vin Diesels.
Vin
Diesel
Stephen
teaching.
Colbert.
Vin Diesel did, he did the foreword in I think it was the 30th anniversary.
30th.
30th anniversary D&D book.
Well, going back to Dame Judi Dench, she was in one of the Chronicles of Riddick movies. Mm-hmm. He taught her.
Escape from Boat Gervais.
Yeah, and he taught her how to play D&D on the set. And report.
She DMs for her grandkids.
Yes,
now or
that's
something.
exactly it. Yeah, she DMs. Yeah, she stuck with it.
That is precious.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome. It's kind of awesome.
I love how math rocks bring people together.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. So we have time for one more.
I feel like most of these are pretty quick.
They're pretty quick. We are running a little bit out of time here.
That's fine.
Jeff.
Oh yes. Okay. You know what? This is a quick one. Yeah. Jeff the Land Shark from Marvel Comics is getting a 5-issue miniseries.
You know what?
As he should.
Nice.
That makes sense. He is the most memeable and also probably most overpowered character in Marvel Rivals.
Yeah. He was just a throwaway character
in a Deadpool
comic initially, and he is the character he's basically just a little dog, but
a shark
four legs that runs around on land. Yeah, and he has become one of the biggest comedy characters, very, very popular right now.
We're gonna see so many Jeff toys, official.
I'm so excited.
Official Jeff toys.
I am going to throw this out there. So I've said for a while that Marvel, the MCU, Marvel Studios, they're pushing towards an eventual Young Avengers movie.
Yes.
They've been setting up all of the characters
since for a while now.
They've They recently just put Billy Kaplan, Wiccan, in the Agatha All Along. They've been setting up all these characters. I have a feeling Jeff the Landshark is going to end up in a Young Avengers Marvel Studios project because he was a minor character in one of the, I think it was the West Coast Avengers comic where Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, took care of him.
Yes.
He became her pet.
Yes.
And so I have a feeling it's going to happen. He's going to show up because he keeps showing up. He's getting his own series. He's a major character in Marvel Rivals. People love him. He's very marketable.
Oh yeah.
He's very
He is the perfect advertising toy.
He's friend-shaped.
He is friend-shaped.
Everybody loves a cool animal mascot.
Oh yeah.
And he is like
looking at you, Pizza Dog and Cosmo the Space Dog.
Yes. Jeff the Landshark is going to become the next Baby Groot.
I mean, yeah.
For sure.
If he's not already there.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, the new Superman movie is going to have Crypto the Superdog in it.
And that's awesome.
People are leaning so hard into this stuff, and I'm about it.
And I love that he's not a huge... he's not a lab. He's not like a huge dog.
No, he's a little guy. He's just a little guy.
He's just a little guy.
He's just a little guy.
That's great.
Just a little guy.
All right, so we have hit time, so we should probably go ahead and wrap things up. Parker, Jordan, thank you again for joining us on the show this week. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Always glad to be here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always glad to have you guys.
Always glad to have you. So you have been listening to Nerd Overload. Thank you very much for tuning in. You can find us each and every day over at nerdoverload.com.
You can find all our links to our social medias at links.nerdoverload.com. You can send us an email at staff@nerdoverload.com.
As well as give us a call on the Nerd Overload hotline, which next episode, I was waiting for Cody to be back here. We actually have a number of calls.
Oh.
So we'll get into them next week.
Let's go.
But that number is 412-345-1413. So yeah, give us a call, leave a message, and we'll play it on the show. You can find all of our back episodes on various podcast apps, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube.
Support our YouTube.
Support the YouTube, as always. And finally, I'd like to thank David Pencil for our intro and outro. So again, thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back next week.
Pizza Dog out.